Hello and welcome to Soul Alchemy, your podcast to help you remember your true power and unfold all of your potential. In today's episode, we want to talk about how regulating your nervous system is the foundation of you standing in your power. And the reason why I speak about that is because, especially in the spiritual community and in this personal development community, there is a lot of emphasis on the mind and on the spiritual plane and on the energy system, but often we forget about the body. Or many spiritual approaches actually neglect the body and reject it as something that we have to transcend, when in truth we have chosen to be in this body, in this world, and so this body is the vehicle for our ascension. It is not through overcoming and transcending the body that we will ascend, but it is through fully embracing the body and being in the body so completely that we can raise its frequency to the degree that allows us to ascend. And so it is essential on our journey to remember who we really are and to really reclaim our full power and step into our potential, that we work with the body. And so many approaches in this is spiritual development, personal growth, environment, are focusing only on how to reclaim our power over the mind, how to reclaim the power over our energy, and like work maybe emotionally, but do not integrate the nervous system into their work. And it is essential for us, when we really want to reclaim our power and really want to step into our full greatest potential, our full power again, that we heal and learn to regulate our nervous system. And so many of us are coming actually from a lineage, from a story of lots of trauma. Like, there is literally no one on the planet who doesn't hold a fair amount of trauma in their system, which I can say for sure after the last millennia that we have been going through, unless people, of course, have taken the time to heal their traumas. But most of us carry lots of trauma in our system. And that doesn't even have to be just trauma you experienced in this lifetime. That is trauma that you experienced in past lifetimes. That is trauma that has been handed down to you through your DNA, through your ancestral line. That is trauma that you've experienced in parallel lifetimes. So there is a lot of trauma in our systems, and that trauma is stored in our nervous system on the material plane, on the physical plane. It is stored in our nervous system. And it shows up as dysregulation of the nervous system. So your nervous system is created in a way that it has an activated state, which is the sympathetic state, which is there for you to be able to react in the moment of a threat. Like, for example, when you are having the experience of walking through the forest and there's a bear showing up in front of you, and you have to choose what you're going to do with this situation. Your sympathetic nervous system will be activated. It will shoot adrenaline through your body. It will activate you in a way that you are faster, more attentive, more activated, so that you can choose how to react if you end up fighting or running away, or what you choose to do. Then results out of that activation of your nervous system, and that is when your nervous system brings you into a sympathetic state. So you are able to run away from the bear and bring yourself to safety. This is the program you have in your nervous system to help you keep yourself safe. And then there is another program that we have in our nervous systems that is called the parasympathetic program, which is the state you are in when you are relaxed, when you feel fully safe and you're completely relaxed and you're recovering, and this is the state that your body is is in when you are fully in rest mode, recovering mode. And so there is a range between those two states, where your nervous system can swing back and forth. So 100% parasympathetic state would be sleep, for example. 100% sympathetic state would be you fighting off the bear or running away from the bear. And so there is every state in between on the scale. And there is a 0 point between the two. There is the state where you are neither sympathetically activated nor overly in the parasympathetic. And many of us have actually like, and when you're in that state, you can then like move into the parasympathetic or into the sympathetic. Many of us have actually not been at that 0 point in our lifetimes because we have so much trauma and stored in our systems, in our bodies, in our minds, in our DNA, in our energy fields, that we are constantly in the slight activation. We are constantly slightly in the sympathetic nervous system within our bodies. Even when we're seemingly calm, we have this slight activation. So if you imagine between the full relaxation and the full activation, there's this 0 point, there's this in between space. And minus 100 is parasympathetic state, like fully relaxed, and plus 100 is fully activated. A lot of us, most of us, carry so much trauma in our systems that we actually are constantly around +5, +10, slightly activated in our day to day life constantly. And so this has become our new 0 point. This has become our new baseline. Our nervous systems have unlearned to go back to real 0 point, and they're the new 0 point because we were in that state for such a long time in our lives and in several lives, has become this new 0 point, and our new zero is at +10. And so we never really go back to the 0 point where we can then really fully go into a relaxed state. And that actually causes a damage in our nervous system. It programs our nervous system in an unhealthy way, and it reduces our capacity to deal with stressful situations, as we never go back to zero. We never go back to that state of recovery. And so we are constantly in a stress response, and we are constantly like using up our energy and never really recovering. And so, what that means for our daily life is that when we do not address the trauma, when we do not heal the trauma and release it from our systems, because what is trauma? It means that you were in a situation in your life where you were so overwhelmed with what was happening and with the situation that your body was not able to process the emotions coming up in a healthy and correct way. And so these emotions got frozen into place within your body. They got stored in your body. And you still carry these traumatic emotions around with you unprocessed. So it's unprocessed experiences. That is what trauma is, unprocessed emotions. And as long as that is still stored in your body, and in that case, actually, it is stored in your nervous system. As long as that is stored in your nervous system, you are unable to go back to that natural 0 point and to fully go into relax mode, because your nervous system constantly it detects within itself a certain level of threat. Emotions of fear, emotions of anger, emotions of stress are stored in your nervous system and are constantly slightly activating your nervous system, not allowing you to ever feel fully safe and going back to 0 point or going back to parasympathetic states of deep relaxation. And so it is essential for us to first heal and release trauma, to work through, and that's why somatic body work, emotional somatic body work is so essential for us, that we release those stuck emotions by allowing ourselves to access them now in a safe and healthy way so we can healthily, correctly process them and wash them out of our systems. Because the moment you access one of those stored emotions, one of those stuck emotions, and you have the safe space and the capacity to process it in a healthy way, it gets flushed out of your nervous system and you don't have to deal with it again. It releases the trauma, it resolves the trauma, and it gets flushed out. So we need to do that. And then we also need to regulate our nervous systems in a way that is bringing us back to that 0 point, that is allowing us again to find that new 0 point by constantly practicing with stimulating our nervous systems and then bringing them back and then learning to like really through conscious exercises regulate our nervous systems down to 0 point again, consciously doing that and bringing ourselves back to that 0 point more and more and more again. We then teach our nervous systems to run into their original program again. And it is when we learn to have our nervous system regulate itself again in that healthy way and be able to enter parasympathetic states again, that first of all we become more flexible again. Our nervous systems are able to move from activation back to relaxation in a much faster, more flexible way. It's like a muscle. When you train a muscle and you stretch it and you keep it smooth by working it and stretching it a lot, that muscle will be very easily adaptable to whatever you need it to do. But when you never work a muscle, either it it becomes small, like there is not much mass. It first of all it becomes small and there's not much mass, and then second of all it becomes very tense, it stiffens, it hardens, because there is no spaciousness for it to adapt to situations, and it cannot handle the load of what is put on it in a healthy way, so it hardens. And that's the same thing that happens to our nervous systems. We harden, we become inflexible, we stiffen because the muscle is not trained. And so our nervous system is like a muscle. We need to train it by consciously exercising it through exercises that bring us back and forth into activation, relaxation, and back to 0 point again, to smoothen that muscle, to train and stretch and smoothen that muscle. And the more that muscle grows, the more we're able to deal with life and with situations in a healthy and constructive way. And so one of the best ways to do that is work with vagus nerve exercises. So the vagus nerve is the big nerve that goes from the bottom of your body all the way to the top, and it moves along your spine, and it is the nerve that regulates the activation of the nervous system between sympathetic and parasympathetic. So it decides if you're in activation or in relaxation. And that nerve has a special ability. It is called the vagal brake. So activating the vagus nerve puts your nervous system through this ability of causing a vagal brake. It puts it to 0 point. And so there's specific exercises you can use to activate the vagal brake. You can find them online really easily. Just type in on YouTube vagal nerve exercises or vagal brake exercises. You'll find a lot of exercises there. And it teaches your nervous system to go back to 0 point. And then from there, you can go into relaxation mode and. But it's like training the vagus nerve is like training that muscle of your nervous system and to move back and forth and to become more flexible again. And when you do that, your capacity to deal with life and to deal with things enhances a lot. It expands. And that is what we want to focus on, because it is when we feel like we can deal with things in our lives that we start feeling safe. When we know, okay, I might be activated because something happens and I have to react to that, but I can easily go back to 0 point as soon as the threat disappears, like with the bear. When the bear is gone, your nervous system should naturally go back to relaxation mode, or to at least to 0 point again. And so when you've trained your nervous system to do that again, you will feel safe. You will feel able to deal with life. You will feel like, even if there is a threat, I can deal with it, and I can find my way back to my nervous system state of 0 point of normal safety, to my normal state. And it is when we feel safe that we feel empowered. It is when you feel safe that you feel also able to step into your power and to live from a place of your power. Everywhere in our nervous system where we are still in trauma reaction, where we are still in hyperactivation, where we are still in unnatural activation, is where a piece of our power is lost. In that experience of trauma, and when we heal the trauma, when we release the stuck emotions, and when we return our nervous system to its natural blueprint again, we reclaim that piece of power, and in that we build that safety, and we step into our full potential. We step into our full power again. Uh, there is no power without safety. You cannot feel truly powerful without feeling fully safe. And so it is in healing our nervous systems that we reclaim our power in a in an incredible way that cannot be compared to anything else, because we build safety. We create a foundation of safety when we learn to work with our nervous systems. And even if you have not healed every tiny little thing in your nervous system, when you grow that muscle and you flex it and you learn it to work with your nervous system, and your nervous system learns to work with you, what happens is that you build a foundation of safety within your own body, of this capacity to being able to deal with whatever comes up outside of you and inside of you. And with that as a foundation, with your capacity to regulate your own nervous system and to be regulated within yourself, dealing with whatever comes up as trauma that needs to be released for you to reclaim pieces of your power, will feel much easier, and you will feel safe in dealing with things. And as you feel safe in dealing with things, that is when you can fully step into reclaiming your power. Because the parts of your power that got lost because you weren't feeling safe in that power. And so the more you reclaim feeling safe within your body through learning how to regulate your nervous system and have a regulated nervous system in your day-to-day life, the more you can reclaim your power, those parts of your power. And so, if that is something that is alive for you and relevant for you, I so invite you to my upcoming free masterclass, Reclaim Your Power. This masterclass is designed to help you see where you have lost parts of your power, where you have given away parts of your power, to understand why this happened, why parts of your power got lost. And then we are going to go into a guided soul journey in which I will give you a supportive journey to reclaim those pieces of power that you have lost and that you have given away. And so in this soul journey, we will dive deep into a part of you where you have given your power away, where you lost your power, and reclaim that aspect by resolving the stories, resolving the trauma, healing the nervous system, and then bringing that piece of power back. And it's going to be a journey that you can do over and over and over again to access new lost parts of your power and bring them back and reclaim more and more parts of you. And so this is going to be a free masterclass. It's going to be a 90-minute deep dive, and it's going to be so powerful. This is designed to help you in all areas of your life, no matter where it is, where you want to really step more fully into your power. If that is in your career, in your relationships, in your finances, doesn't matter. This will support you in any area of your life where you want to do that. And it's completely for free. I mean, I would sign up for this in an instant if it was me, not if I wasn't the one like offering it. So yeah, it's completely for free. All you have to do is click the link down below to sign up and hop in, and you'll get all the details sent to you. It happens on the 22nd of February, and if you're listening to this after, I will definitely keep the replay available for quite a while after. So if it's after the 22nd of February, you can still sign up and you will receive the link to the replay with this with by signing up. So yeah, I can't wait to see you there. If this is calling you, you are so invited. Like I said, it's completely for free. And I can't wait to hold this safe space for you to fully step into your power again and reclaim all parts of yourself. And with that said, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. And yeah, I'll come back with another episode soon. And until then, take care, have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon. Bye.